In a vast, empty land where the wind never stops and traces of human presence have long disappeared, a massive airplane rests quietly in the middle of nature. It no longer carries the identity of something that once soared through the sky. There are no engines, no passengers, no signs of life. Only stillness and the weight of time. Tauntaun walks slowly across the dry ground, the morning sunlight gently touching her shoulders. Her soft satin dress moves with the wind, creating a striking contrast between elegance and the rough, decaying structure before her. She says nothing. She simply observes. Her eyes settle on the airplane's body, where the paint has almost completely faded away. Rust spreads across the surface like marks of time, telling a story no one clearly remembers anymore. She steps closer. Her hand touches the cold metal surface. A thin layer of dust rises into the air, drifting briefly before dissolving into the light. There is no sound except the wind. A moment of stillness, but not empty, full of awareness. She walks around the airplane. Each angle reveals something different. Broken windows, cracks along the body, bent metal shaped by years of abandonment. This is not just an object left behind. It is a fragment of the past. She stops in front of the main door. Heavy, worn, covered in dust and decay. It has likely not been opened for years. She places her hand on the handle, pauses, then slowly pulls. The sound of old metal echoes as the door opens, as if the airplane itself reacts to the first change after so long. The door opens. Inside is darker. Light barely slips through cracks and broken windows, forming thin beams across the dusty floor. She steps in. Each footstep creates a soft echo, filling the large, empty space. The sounds are not loud, but they feel clearer than ever. Rows of old seats remain, covered in dust, torn apart, but still standing, as if everything stopped at a certain moment and never continued. She walks slowly down the aisle. Her hand gently moves across the seats. The fabric almost disintegrates under her touch, but the frame still holds. She looks up. Cracks stretch across the ceiling. Metal surfaces exposed. Everything shows that time has not been gentle here. But something remains. Not beauty, but potential. She stops in the center of the cabin. Does nothing. Says nothing. Just stands there. Another moment of stillness. Longer this time. Not because she is lost, but because she is thinking. An idea. Something begins to form. Not fully clear, but strong enough to keep her from walking away. She turns back toward the door. Light from outside creates a sharp contrast between darkness and brightness. She steps out, takes a deep breath. The outside world remains the same, but her perception has changed. She looks at the airplane again. Not the same as before. Not something distant, but something possible. A challenge, an opportunity, something that could be completely transformed. She says nothing, only a slight nod, a quiet decision, and at that moment, the journey begins. The next morning, as sunlight spreads across the empty land, the atmosphere around the airplane is no longer the same. The stillness is gone. The silence has changed. Footsteps appear. Not just one, but many. Tauntaun returns, but this time she is not alone. Behind her is a small team, each carrying tools, each with a focused expression, ready for a task that is far from simple. There is no introduction, no long conversation, just a few nods, a quick understanding. She stands in front of the airplane again, not to question, but to confirm. Then she gives a small signal, and everything begins. No music, only movement. Doors open wider, steps echo inside. The empty space starts to come alive. Old seats are removed. Metal sounds echo clearly, not loud, but rhythmic. One holds, one unscrews, one pulls. Everything flows naturally. No rush, but continuous. Tauntaun does not stand aside. She works with them. Her movements are no different. Precise, controlled. She bends down, pulling a stuck piece of seat. With force, it comes loose. No dramatic reaction, just a quick glance. Then she moves on. Outside, broken parts begin to pile up. But not chaotically. Organized, structured. Inside, space begins to open. Light enters more freely. Details become visible. The transformation has begun, but it is only the start. Cleaning continues. Brooms, cloths, water, dust is swept away layer by layer. Slowly, steadily. Each movement reveals something new. Hidden details begin to appear. Things that no one could see before, now become clear. Tauntaun moves constantly, from one place to another. No pause, no distraction, only focus. A long moment of stillness exists. No one speaks, but everyone understands. The only sounds are broom strokes, footsteps, metal contact, a rhythm without music, but perfectly balanced. Then comes water. The first stream hits the floor. A new sound emerges. Soft, yet deep. It spreads through the space. She holds the hose. High pressure. Water hits the metal. Years of dirt begin to dissolve. Old layers fade away. Beneath them, something new appears. Cleaner, brighter. Each movement changes something. No explanation needed. Just watching is enough. The team works together. One cleans windows. One scrubs the floor. One handles difficult areas. No one stops. No one slows down. But no one rushes either. Everything follows a steady rhythm. A calm rhythm. A focused rhythm. Light inside begins to shift. No longer blocked. No longer dull. It flows through clean windows, reflecting off surfaces that are slowly being restored. The space feels alive. Once the water settles, a new phase begins. Inspection. Tauntaun walks along the body of the airplane. Her hand moves across surfaces. Not to feel, but to understand. Which parts remain strong? Which must be replaced? Which need reinforcement? She stops at one point. Calls a team member. No words. Just a gesture. The message is clear. Tools come out. The work changes. The sound changes. No more water. No more sweeping. Now, metal. Wrenches. Hammers. Cutting tools. Sparks appear. Fall. Disappear. But leave impact. Old parts are removed. New parts are prepared. The airplane is no longer abandoned. It is a construction site. A place of rebuilding. Tauntaun stands in the center. Not commanding. Not speaking. Just moving. Every action has purpose. Every glance carries meaning. Another moment of stillness. But this time, it is not empty. It is focus. Time passes. No one tracks it. No one counts. But everything is changing. Not fast, but certain. Piece by piece. Detail by detail. Something once forgotten is coming back. Not as it was, but as something new. As the sounds of work slowly fade away, the space inside the airplane changes in a way that is impossible to ignore. No more metal noise. No more water. No more movement. Only stillness. But this time, it feels different. Not abandoned, but complete. Tauntaun stands at the entrance, the soft evening light outlining her silhouette. She doesn't step in right away. She looks, not like before, but as someone looking at something she has transformed. She steps inside. The floor is no longer rough. It is smooth, stable. Her footsteps no longer echo emptiness. They feel grounded. Along the sides, new wall panels replace the old surfaces. The colors are soft, warm, balanced. Golden light runs along the ceiling, spreading gently across the space. It doesn't overwhelm. It simply exists. The airplane no longer feels like a machine. It feels like a home. A place to stay. A place to breathe. She walks slowly. Her eyes move across every detail. A sofa sits on one side, with soft cushions inviting rest. Across from it, a small kitchen area, minimal yet complete. Nothing excessive, nothing unnecessary. Everything belongs. She places her hand on the table surface. No coldness, no rough edges, only smoothness. A complete contrast to what it once was. She moves further inside. At the end of the cabin, a resting space has been created. A bed, neatly arranged. Soft lighting above. Not too bright, not too dim, just right. She stops. Looks around, says nothing, just feels. A moment of stillness. But now, it is full. Full of completion. Full of change. She sits down on the edge of the bed. Slowly. As if experiencing it for the first time, even though she built it. Her gaze shifts toward the window. The sky is turning orange. The sunset reflects across the distant sea. That light enters the space, blending with the warm interior glow. Creating something that feels almost unreal. Not luxury, but balance. Between old and new. Between what was abandoned and what has been reborn. She stands again. Walks through the space. No need to check. No need to fix. Everything is finished. She steps outside. The airplane now stands before her, but it is no longer the same. No rust. No decay. It is something else. Something valuable. Something that can make people stop and look. She stands still. No pose. No performance. Just presence. Between nature and transformation. Night begins to fall. The lights inside turn on. From the outside, the airplane glows. Not brightly, but warmly, enough to stand out, enough to feel alive. She steps in one last time. Sits by the window. Soft light touches her face. No dramatic expression, just a gaze, but long enough to say everything. Sometimes, value doesn't come from starting with something perfect. It comes from seeing what others ignore, and having the patience to transform it. She closes her eyes, not sleeping, just feeling. A moment of stillness. Not empty, but full. Outside, the wind continues. The sky darkens. Everything remains the same, except one thing, the airplane, and maybe, her.
We did it! Yes! Finally!
Thank you, everyone!
We finished the project.